This absolute weapon is the Giant Trinity TT bike, as used in time trials by the CCC team. Now, before I go into all the geeky, nerdy, beautiful aero details on this machine, be sure to subscribe to GCN if you haven't already, and also click the little bell icon as it's free and it gives you a notification every time we upload a video. This particular bike belongs to Lukas Wisniewski. Now, the standard colours for CCC are this matte black and white. Now, it's quite a simple paint job, but it contrasts really nicely with the bright orange kit that the team wear. So when it's combined with the riders, it looks great. And I like the way the tan sidewalls contrast as well. Now, the Giant Trinity TT frame has been around a while, but it is regarded as being one of the fastest time trial frames available. Now, it is a rim brake designed bike. We're starting to see increasing numbers of disc brake time trial bikes, but the rim brakes are neatly tucked in behind the front fork. In the case here, it's like a V-brake design, similar to the old Giant Propel, and the rear brake is tucked under the bottom bracket out of the wind. Now, this is a UCI legal bike, but there is also a triathlon version in which there's loads of triathlon gubbins that gets festooned to the front of the bike to make it even more aerodynamic. But that said, the cockpit is very clean, and I love this torpedo shape at the front here. It just looks like it's perfect for slicing through the air, and it tapers nicely towards the seat tube. And a really nice little detail is the Di2 junction box. So the bike is fitted with complete Dura Ace Di2 throughout, and the junction box, so that Di2 can be tuned and charged, is located here in this nice little recess. And there's a little slot so you can press the button to activate the junction box, and you can get access to it by just turning the steerer tube. You don't have to undo anything to get access to it, which is nice from a mechanics point of view, but also from an aerodynamic point of view, an aesthetic point of view, it's neat and out of the way. With Dura Ace Di2 fitted throughout, we've got satellite shifters on the brake levers of the base bar, and also the little bar end shifters on the end of the tri-extensions as well. Now, this is a standard cockpit with fairly standard setup. It's not a 3D cockpit, and most riders in the Tour de France will use standard setups. It's only on teams like Ineos where we see 3D cockpits given to, well, pretty much all the riders on the team, even the non-time trial specialists. So I'm told that the team were actually doing some team time trial practice today on these bikes. So it's set up in full race mode. So we've got a power meter on there. It's the Dura Ace power meter. And those chain rings are 54/42. So Lukas Wisniewski isn't a time trial specialist, or isn't known for being a time trial specialist. So it's interesting to see the chain rings that he's running there. A lot of the TT specialists actually run bigger chain rings these days. And at the back, we've got an 11/28 cassette. The cranks are 175 millimeters long, and the saddle is a short-nosed Giant saddle. Giant, the brand, I'm not referring to the size of the saddle, it's clearly not Giant. But interestingly, short-nosed saddles were first employed because of a UCI rule which stipulated that the nose of the saddle, if you ran a plumb line down it, had to be 2 centimeters behind the bottom bracket. But this saddle is clearly being run far further back. It's right on the back of its rails, lots of layback there. So interestingly, Lukas is still opting for a short-nosed saddle. This water bottle is really cool. So it's a Giant specific one that's been designed for the Trinity to be as aerodynamic as possible, and it just blends really nicely into the lines of the bike. It's fully UCI legal and just saves a few watts over a round bottle, which would compromise the aerodynamics of the down tube. Now, the wheels are particularly bling. I really like those. They are from the new component brand Cadex, which is a subsidiary of Giant, and at the front we've got their new 4-spoke wheel, and at the back their new disc, and they're made of this kind of Techstream carbon, which I remember first seeing on some Giro helmets a few years ago. And these spokes on the 4-spoke front wheel are actually bladed. They're like a wing shape, so they're rounder on the leading edge and taper off to a sharper edge at the back. So this wheel is direction specific. You have to put it in the right way, or I'm sure it's, well, not very aerodynamic at all. Now, these wheels were designed with CFD and wind tunnel testing. They're new wheels, so I just found that out from the mechanics. The wheels are tubular, and onto them are mounted Vittoria Corsa Speed 25mm tyres. These are a time trial specific tyre, and the mechanics often don't get much life out of them. They're very thin, but very, very fast with very low rolling resistance, and they've got latex inner tubes inside them there. I've measured the width with the verniers, and they're coming out at 25mm on these wheels. Ooh, that's really loud. That sounds great. I like that. It's going for quite a while. Sounds like a klaxon. You could signal air raids with this thing. I've got the GCN scales of truth here, so I'm going to weigh the bike as well. I'm always intrigued to see what they weigh, especially with tubular wheels on them. And time trial bikes generally weigh more than road bikes, but let's see what it hits the scales at. Let me tear them. 8.59 in a full race build with pedals, computer mount, power meter. Not bad for a time trial bike. Some of them are over 9. Now I hope you've enjoyed this look at the CCC Team time trial bike, and if you have, then please give the video a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And to see more time trial tech from the Tour de France, click down here on this really cool 4-spoke front wheel.